Welcome back to Mal and Nat. No, Nat and Mal. What is it? Mal and Nat
Mal
sister.
and Nat's. Nat and Mal's sister chat.
Nat and Mal and Nat sister chat. And today we are going to talk about something creepy because Halloween is just around the corner.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
If you want a creepy story, here you go. This is all about robots entering our homes and taking over our children and cleaning our houses and doing our groceries.
Everyone's like so scared of it.
Can we tell you a funny story about it? So
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, you do. So anyway,
Sure.
so I told my oldest daughter about them. I was like, did you know that they're making these robots that can like cook and clean for you? And she was like, we need to get one. And I was like, but it would be, I was like, it'd be so sad because then like, if you wanted mom to make you cookies or something, then like the robot would do it instead. It wouldn't be as fun. And she's like, it would probably taste better.
Was that Charlie?
Charlie. I was like,
oh, I love her.
True, but that's true.
Besides the point, Charlie, they didn't come from me. It's like robot.
I'm not like a bad cook. I just try and make everything healthy and it makes it gross. But anyway.
No, she's like, hey, robot, make me some not healthy cookies.
Hey, please. Anyway, it just cracked me up. She's like, I don't care about the robot touch. It'd be awesome and actually cook good food.
It tastes delicious.
Anyway, do you want to introduce what it's all about and whatnot?
Yeah. So we're talking about Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot that Elon Musk just launched. When did he launch that? Not too long ago. He unveiled it with like some other vehicles and stuff. And he's just kind of a nut job. He's like, I made a van and a car and also a human. Anybody want one? You're just like, what? He's crazy. Yeah, like crazy good. I think he's so cool. Yeah. He's just like, I'm just making a robot. Like, if you don't want it, then don't get it. But that's what I made. And I don't know. He's like his total. You were telling me you've read his book or part of it. Mm-hmm. Like, tell me. Do you mind telling what you told me about him?
Yeah, just that he's like a total sci-fi nerd, and so like anything that he can make that goes along with his sci-fi books or movies, he's gonna try and make. And so he's like I am the future. Like he actually like thinks like he's like, yeah, I'm pushing forward the future, and I actually think he is. Like I'm like, yeah, everyone has a Tesla now. Like I look around and we're in Kansas City, and like there's so many Teslas, and maybe I'm just looking out for them now, but I swear they're everywhere. Anyway, and so
it makes sense if they'll actually charge fast. That makes sense.
Yeah, he unveiled the self-driving car too, which that was like all part of it or whatever, which was pretty cool. I thought like you could like go on. What I thought was, and it's self-cleaning. I was like, oh my gosh, that is.
Wait, what? I missed that.
You didn't see that, Natty?
No.
It comes out with like little arms that like cleans and vacuums everything. Yeah.
Stop
I was like, Elon,
I love it right now. He loves moms everywhere.
Creepy.
Way too many moms, but he loves them. Just kidding.
Anyway.
Hey, Elon, you love me.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And what I thought was we make trips across the country all the time. I was like, we could just kick back and like take a nap and it would just drive us there.
Well, so that would change the way we travel, kind of like how airplanes did. It opened the world up. You would be like, I'm going to go visit Mal tonight because I can sleep the entire way. It's going to take me 2 days to get there, and it doesn't matter because nothing's interrupted.
He made like a self-driving bus so that he could change the way transportation's done, like in cities. And then he also made the car and I can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, the end.
Did you see how sweet that bus was? It fits 20 people.
Yeah.
I was like, Corey, that's what I want for our next vehicle. I want that bus.
You want it for your family?
Yeah. And so we can take all our friends and just, because we live kind of on an island. That's what I always call it here, because it's so surrounded by desert that it's 2 hours to anything. So I'm like, if we had something like that, you could throw in an entire other family that you're friends with and be like, let's go out to eat or let's go, swimming or whatever, and then come back. And it's all a party from the minute you start to the end.
The cool thing about Elon is he tries to make everything like affordable. He doesn't just try to wealthy because he wants to actually change the way America's run. He's like, in order to do that, I have to make it affordable. So I think he said, don't quote me on this, but I think he said the self-driving car was going to be less than 30,000. Isn't that what he said?
Let me look and see. I have my computer today so that I can actually up facts.
which is crazy. Like people are paying 60 grand or more for trucks, so I'm like, that's pretty good for a
Oh yeah,
self-driving car.
that's very affordable for a car.
Yeah.
100%.
So I have my laptop here too. I can be all
We
searchy.
can be really cool and pretend like we know how to use a laptop.
Me too.
Says 30 grand, Mal.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
my gosh, that's
well, and
insane.
I was thinking about his robots. I can't. They haven't left my mind since I watched that video you sent me, which was made by
Me neither.
AI. Ironically, did you notice that?
Oh, I didn't. The video. Okay, so I did notice that it was super hard to watch. I couldn't finish it
Yeah,
because it was so
it
boring.
was created by
So,
AI. That's why.
oh,
And
that
then
makes
I could
sense.
tell
Okay.
because the guy was like, he was like, and it costs $0.10 and between $0.10 and $0.12. He meant 10 cents to 20 cents, but he like said it
You're
in
like,
robot voice.
oh,
So I
okay,
was like,
robot.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah, like you're AI. Anyway,
that's funny.
so yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. People are like creating AI YouTube channels and making money off of it. Like they do nothing.
Yep,
AI does everything and they just make money.
yep,
It's crazy.
yep. But it's
Anyway,
creepy, but at the same time, you're like, what a world where you, if you're smart enough, you can make money doing like the money's out there. It's in abundance. It's just a matter of creating value, even if
yeah,
it's just utilizing AI. Who cares
even
if
if it's a
people like
robot.
it?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
his like back to his Optimus robots. His vision was he wanted it to be able to clean your house, babysit your kids, which I thought was like, yeah, H no. And then,
really. I was like, sweet. I need a babysitter in my life.
I've always wanted a
I'm
robot.
like all for this robot. I don't know why. I just love it. It's
Anyway,
gonna
and
change
then
my world.
do your groceries, cook for you, basically just like, yeah, be a second helper in your house. And I think he said it was going to cost 20 grand is what his projection was.
2030. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
and
So
I was first he was saying he was going to market it to all the like celebrities, influencers, and just like everyone who's anyone has it in their homes, and they kind of advertise that for him, which I think is genius. But
right.
I just I keep losing my train of thought, so I
Oh,
thought the afternoon would like my mind would be working better, but it's not.
it's
So
just worse. This has been a tough time for me. We'll have to discuss times because my
no,
kids are hard to work around. I'm like,
yeah.
they bless their sweet little
I was
hearts.
thinking the
Everything.
same thing. I'm like, we can just do it in the morning. It's fine. We'll figure it
Yeah, we can find a happy medium. Like if there's
out.
another time or evening or something where the kids aren't quite right there. Because I was
They're
like,
always
oh,
there. They're always
they're
there. Where's
always right.
Optimus when we need him?
Optimus babysit my kids for me. Yeah,
But oh, that's what I
there's
was gonna say. As I was like thinking about 20 grand or whatever, and I was thinking how much parents pay for daycare, and I'm like, yeah, that would
oh
save you money.
so much,
Childcare is so ridiculous.
and it's
Anyway,
safer than daycare. Like
it's
as much as
safer.
people are afraid of robots, you don't know strangers either. So like
Yeah, I will say, I mean, here's the thing is like people will be like, they don't have that human touch, but I worked at a daycare and I'm like, they don't
they
love your,
don't have a human touch either.
you
Yeah.
think they do, but they don't. Even if
They're
you love
legally
kids,
not allowed to, and you don't
you're not
want
allowed
them
to
to.
touch them. You're not allowed to pick them up unless they're babies. Like that was the daycare I worked at. Maybe they're not all the same. But we
Sure.
weren't allowed to pick them up. We weren't allowed to like hug them and comfort them like if they were sad or anyway. Just because they were
But there
like,
was
you
like
don't
a
want to create
show.
that you don't want to create that connection, and then they're attached to you. And also the parents don't want unnatural touch and I don't know, I could kind of see that. But at the same time I'm like, it's so sad that these like it's not a great system. I don't feel like it's a
No, no.
great
And
solution.
not all daycares are created equal
No.
for sure.
No, that one
But
was a rough one for sure.
that one was bad. But these are the child care options that people, especially in bigger cities, are going to have, and people with lower income, because that's kind of
Yeah.
what that one catered to, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, like at least my child is like going to be fed, I guess, and go to the bathroom. But beyond
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they're not bullied. Hopefully the workers aren't crazy or creepy or mean
So
or
I
cold
already
or.
worry about like so I don't know, there's so many parents are going to work, both parents are working or working longer already as it is. And then if you add that, I'm like, I just feel like how I don't know, kids are just like not gonna have parents, because like if you have somebody who can babysit full time, cook full time, clean full time,
Yes.
like why would you be
Yes.
home? Like, really.
I 100% agree with you. It's going to make families less of families.
Yeah, yeah.
However, in my opinion, if I had the choice between a daycare and an Optimus all day long, because it can't like molest my child or
No,
harm them or emotionally abuse them, you know? So it
yeah,
might not give them warmth and love, but it also won't hurt them. And I would be more concerned about my child being harmed than I would about um, it not getting enough love.
yeah,
If those were my only options,
yeah.
which for some
Technology,
people it is.
yeah. Technology kind of
I
freaks me
agree
out.
with you. Yeah.
The technology kind of freaks me out though, because it's like, what if it malfunctions or turns on you, or like, there's like so many
Turns
things
on you.
that go
Okay,
wrong.
Dwight.
Huh? What?
It turns on. I said, okay, Dwight.
Yeah, that's why I'm serious. I'm like, what if all of a sudden it's like time to die and it just kills you? Like, what are you gonna do?
So I do think so let's talk about all the downsides and then the upsides, because I think there are some major upsides too. Like I'm definitely getting an Optimus when it's available. That's not even a
You're
question.
hilarious.
But 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 there are some downsides and we can talk about those. But I'm in a different situation. I'm here with Optimus. Like if I had to
Yeah,
leave it with my home and child all the time, that would be a totally
yeah.
different debate. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah, I can keep an eye on that evil
Well,
robot. We're fine. I'll
it
take it
basically
down.
be it basically be like having a, what do you call those, mommy helper? Some people will hire those to like kind of
A
hang out.
nanny.
No, it's not. What are they called?
What are those things called? Lower
No, it's
class.
not
I can't
like
remember.
a little kid. It's usually like a teenager, and they just kind of hang out with the mom and help
Yeah,
them. That's like second pair of
yeah,
hands. Anyway.
yeah.
Oh
My
my
friend
God.
does that. She has my. Hello, Indy. My friend has. I don't know why I almost said 17 kids. She does not have 17 kids. She has. Our brains are not working at all right now.
You know,
She has 5 kids or 6 kids. She has 6 kids, all under the age of 10.
sorry.
Indy's gonna just be right here with you.
That's
She
not
has
gonna
6 kids. What's that?
nothing. Go ahead.
She's leaving now. Look how obedient she is. Nope, she's coming back.
I was
She's
talking to
like,
Charlie.
I can't. Oh, okay. I thought you were
Yeah,
talking to Indy. She look at her. She like can't not be near you. She's like, I'll
she has
just
a
be by the
problem.
stairs.
I
Oh,
know.
cute. Um.
She's kind of cute.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, she has 6 kids under the. No, you're fine. She has 6 kids under the age of 10, and she hires a teenager in the summer to come and just like be with her in the
Yeah.
mornings, so she can work out, get ready, clean her house, and the teenager just stays with her kids. So it's kind of a nanny, but it's
Yeah.
only for like 3 hours in the
Yeah.
day and just keeps her sane. Her
Yeah.
husband has really crazy hours, so she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Good
I
for
know.
you. Yeah. And we've talked about this before, but there was a time. We'll get to this. Sorry, we're talking about the bad things right now. Let's talk about the scary things about this, because there are. I keep going to the good because I'm so excited to have an Optimus.
It's supposed to be a scary podcast, Natty.
Oh yeah. Ooh, Optimus will
Ooh,
ruin your
Optimus. I want one
life.
really bad.
Yes, I do. It's like when people are like, "I'm a great mom," and then they have like 4 nannies. Like it's gonna be like that. Like I'll be like, "Optimus, don't get it." I'll have like 5 in the background serving me. No one will know. Just kidding.
Fine.
I think it's great, but I do understand like everyone freaking out. One, this is new technology, and you pointed out last time. Anytime there's something that is just completely new, everybody freaks out. It's like there's a ton of fear and a ton of excitement, and that's exactly what is surrounding these robots. Just I think these are as big of a game changer and culture changer as our cell phones. I think this is going to completely change the world.
If they work like he says they do, I don't have a like. So from reading his book, he kind of like
Over
makes
promises. He what?
yeah, he just like makes stuff up. Like he'll
Yeah.
like he'll get on his platform and be like, and this is what it's gonna do, and it's gonna be done in a week, and everyone will be like,
Right.
wow,
Right.
His
Oh.
whole team's like, wow, this is the first time I've heard of this. Anyway,
Yeah.
so apparently it's like a motivation tactic he does to kind
Yeah.
of to motivate his team to work faster and harder, and they do. And the thing is though that he kicks out stuff later than he says, but he always kicks it out. Like
He
it
does.
is amazing technology. It just takes longer than his
Then he
unrealistic.
says.
Yeah.
So you can plan on a few more years than he promised. And
Yeah.
and he's pretty notorious for that. But I kind of see the tactic. It's like, let's get the excitement now. Everyone's going to anticipate it. If it comes out later, what competition do I have for a robot
Yeah.
helper?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna have to wait 2 years, and everyone's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"There's literally nothing you can do but be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll wait 2 years." It sucks, but he has zero competition.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. I have to read you some of these comments I screenshot. Oh, from the people. Oh, people are so funny.
yes, I had some fun comments from YouTube too.
Oh my gosh, because just like the it's really like the way it moves its hands and everything is very human, but there's some things it does that are not human. It looks really weird.
Yeah,
The way it walks, for one, like it's like
yeah, obviously, like
uh,
I. I guess he is kind of an overpromiser, but everyone's like, I mean, it's not that good. And I'm like, it's a robot. He made a
no,
robot. It's so cool.
freaking
I don't know. I
awesome.
think I'm a nerd. I didn't know it. Yeah.
I know. I was like telling Chancey, I was like, "Have you heard about this?" Sorry.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yep."
Nobody has. Does that strike you as weird?
Huh?
Does it strike you as weird that nobody has heard about this?
Well, he had heard about it. It's not. I think people aren't like
They're
excited
not
about it because
excited.
it's Elon. Like he just makes stuff up, and so they're kind of like,
That's
"Okay,
not
we'll
true though.
we'll
I
see this in
mean,
5 years."
so he doesn't make stuff up. He just overpromises on time frames. But as far as
Yeah,
like the actual technology and stuff, it's always delivered, right? Like he's never
yeah.
promised a car that hasn't come out, or right? Am I wrong about that?
I
Maybe
don't
I
know. I don't know about that, but
am.
yeah, you're right. It's not that he makes stuff up. He deadlines. He's not really strict
He's
with
not
that.
great on deadlines. It does seem to like when if you Google like what can Optimus do, it's like serve you drinks and walk your dog. Like you're
Yeah,
like, so and he says it'll mow your lawn and stuff like that. I am a little skeptical about that just because of like how it walks and stuff. I'm like, I've mowed many of lawns and there's a lot to trip over out there. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it'd have to
You're
be
like,
a
stop.
lot smarter than it's looking right now to do all
Yeah,
the things he's
stop.
promised.
Stop walking like that, and maybe I'll trust you more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it'll
Yeah,
babysit your baby. I'm like,
yeah,
that thing's not holding my baby. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was like this comment that I screenshotted said, "Gotta love humanoid robots. Looks around, moves its head and hands fluidly and naturally, and then walks away like it shit its pants."
Walks away like Joe Biden.
So funny though, because then after that, every time it walked away, I couldn't help seeing like this little leg
Yep. Like, doesn't it remind
halfway
you of
bent over.
doesn't it remind you of Joe Biden when he'd like leave the stage or something? Like it reminds you of someone who's like completely lost its mind and just needs to like get Jello in a blanket. You're
Yeah.
like,
Like,
yep, yeah. I felt sad for Joe Biden at the end. That didn't make me happy.
I didn't watch it.
He just like lost it and they just kept putting him out there. I was like, oh, that's
Mm.
so mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what it reminded me of when it would walk away. I was like, they patterned it after our president.
Maybe we should make Optimus be our next president. Optimus 2028.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is kind of everybody's like projections and fears, which is interesting. I'm like, maybe I just don't understand AI and I don't understand technology and how exponential it can be. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I do not anticipate a time when we can ever really copy a human. Like there's so many micro expressions even just in a
Yeah.
human's face,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. I could see, but anyway, people are actually afraid of that. Like there will come a time when they look human, they act human, they love human, so you won't even know the difference between that and a human. I'm like, I just don't see that in the future. I don't know, maybe that's me being an old lady and not understanding how this can happen, but
So far,
you'd have to
that
you'd
close.
have to advance in a major way. What's
Mhm.
that?
We said so far we're not that close to anything
No.
human.
Well, and even when they're like, AI is taking over the world and it's ruining everything, and kids can't even write papers and stuff. I'm like, you can tell when it's AI written. It's not like it's like well written. It's
Yeah.
just
Robot.
fluidly written.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I'm like, we're not there. We're not there at a point where it's like taking over everything. I think they think it's so much better than it is. I'm like, I don't know. You can tell the human touch and appreciate it more. So
Yeah.
okay, do you want to know something so random that made me love Joe Rogan even more?
Yes.
I watched this like really random video last night. I don't know why it reminded me of this. But hi Bryn. Should I probably not say her name on the podcast?
It's
We can edit that.
it's not
Oh,
Brit.
hi, Eddie.
It's okay if you
I'm
say
a great Ed. Hilarious. Hi, Eddie. That's awkward. She looked just like Bryn for 2 seconds. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so Joe Rogan, he had this video. He went to his friend's house and there was like this piece of art. I was just thinking of AI art and how bad it is. There was this piece of art on his friend's wall and it looked like a little kid had just like, you know, and Joe Rogan said that. He's like, "Where'd you get that art? It looks like a child made it." And his friend was like, oh, "That's an original, blah blah blah," whoever it was. And Joe Rogan's like, "It looks like a piece of, and 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 then he like goes on and on this podcast like he paid $20,000 for that. What a moron! Like he was just like dying laughing and at his friend's expense. But I loved it. I'm like, thank you for being one of the only normal people on the planet who is willing to admit that that is just crap. It's the biggest
Thank
scam
you.
in our entire culture
Oh my
that you
gosh.
can buy art that is not actually art and
Yes.
pay so much for it. It makes no sense.
Oh, so I can't even like art just like I know that like there's certain pieces that just speak to you and you don't know why. And I get that. And I know I'm more like traditional and everyone's got their own thing. But like
I
we
think
went to
most
this
of us are.
yeah. We went to
When it
this
comes
art museum in Kansas City. It's like a renowned crazy fancy art museum and it had this piece of this sculpture that was like it looked like so it's supposed to be a pregnant woman. When you read the caption you knew what it was. You could not figure it out. Anyway, it was a pregnant woman whose baby was like moving in her belly. You know how it moves when you're pregnant, you know
Yeah.
that. Anyway. Anyway, so
I
like the belly was like off to the side and like the body was like humongous and like weirdly shaped and the head was like this big. And I was like, what is it? So it looks so bad. And then I read the caption and Chancey's like, read that. And I was like, if you ever, because like, so the husband made it for the wife. Like, he's like, this is like, your body moves and it's so beautiful. And like, I was like, if you ever made me, I'd be so offended. Like,
I will smack you.
the body was like huge and like disformed. And I was like, what in the world? Anyway,
It's like,
I don't know.
this is how I see my wife.
I don't get it. I don't, but it's
Yeah.
okay. People have got their own.
I can see like there's symbolism in some things,
Yeah.
and if you get that, but yeah.
You can go in your room or outside.
I do think we've lost the days of like incredible art because you have your classic artists like, Leonardo da Vinci and the ones that everybody knows. Their art was at least understandable. Like it
Yeah.
was in relation to their world. And so and it still is, it's considered, classic now. People still love it. So I'm like, I feel like all this weird like junk art and I don't know, all the weird stuff that's going on right now, they might get attention for it now. It's not gonna last. No one's gonna be like, I have an original toilet sculpture from, they do weird crap like that. They're like stacked toilets and just weird crap. I'm like, what? And everyone's like, wow.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being legendary, but
yeah. Okay, so apparently there's like this, I don't know if this is true or not. I should just find out right now. Apparently iRobot is like mad at Elon Musk for stealing their like design of a robot. So, did you ever watch iRobot?
no, this sounds familiar.
So it's like it looks just like his robots. And it's a Will Smith movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it says iRobot director calls out Elon Musk for Tesla robot design. That was mine. I'm like, that's like somebody drawing a little doodle and then Leonardo da Vinci painting it in great detail and being like copycat. I'm like, are you serious? You made a movie.
It's not
You
like the
didn't make an
iRobot guy.
actual robot. That's so stupid.
It's not
You
like
copy
the
my
iRobot
design.
guy was gonna make it into an actual robot. Like if he was,
No.
that could be rude. But I'm like, you weren't gonna do anything with it. What in the world?
He's like trying to grab onto the coattails of Elon's genius.
Oh,
that was actually my idea. I'm like, okay, idiot. You made the CGI version. Congratulations. He brought it to life. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, so he says, I guess he did like a post on maybe X or something, I don't know where. Hey Elon, can I have my designs back, please? Maybe it was a joke.
Oh.
I'm like, oh wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Congratulations on being an artist who can make movies. You don't make robots. Oh my gosh. Some people. Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. This is actually my idea in the first place. Elon just stole it.
I felt like I don't know. I think what creeps me out about it is basically, from what I can see, is the robot is meant to take over homemaking skills, homemaking everything. So it's
Yeah,
like it'll be the mom. And to me, that just kind of shows you where society's at and how they view stay-at-home moms and like what we do.
sure.
Like
Sure.
it's like, this can be replaced by a robot. Now you can go do real work, you know?
Yeah.
And um anyway, and so I just see that becoming a problem in the future. But it would also make the homes that have moms and not robots raise them more, stand out more, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, 100%. There's so much like good and bad. It's just like a phone. Like it's just like a cell phone. If you look at
Yeah.
all of the good that has come from having cell phones, the connection that we've had from all around the world because of them, it has connected the entire world. That's an amazing feat. There's a lot of bad too. There's a lot of creeps out there that have used it as a fuel for their creepiness. You know, that's always going to happen.
Yeah.
So so I do see the fear in it, but I'm like, if you're not a freaky weirdo, then
Yeah.
it probably could just benefit your life, you know? Same as
Yeah.
a phone. You've got to use certain precautions with it, and you've
Yeah.
got to control yourself because it could be a temptation that wrecks you, you know, if you're addicted to it or whatever.
I
But
think
I
when
was
something
thinking, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think when something sounds too good to be true, too, people immediately are like spidey senses are up. They're like, really, it's gonna do everything for you? Like that's something's wrong, you know?
We've invented a computer that will fit in your pocket and you can talk to somebody in three
No, for
seconds.
sure. No, I just
Yeah.
think that's why people are worried because it sounds like
Yeah. Sounds too
too good.
far fetched, but
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to change so many things.
Like if I'm trying to think, like if somebody just gifted me an Optimus, like just on my front porch right now, would I be like
You'd be
grateful or would I
thinking,
be like yikes? And
yeah.
I'm trying to I know Chancey would 100% like throat chop it or something.
Get out of my life, you robot spy.
Just kidding.
That's funny.
But you like put it in a jujitsu chokehold and see what it does or something. Um,
It's
but
like I taught Optimus jujitsu today.
actually, you know what?
Yeah, you
He
could
has
wrestle
this
with it.
like he has this like a jujitsu dummy he got on Amazon so he could practice, and it
See?
kind of looks like Optimus. He could probably practice with
See?
Optimus. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
but that's neither here nor there. I'm just trying to think if I would like it, and I'm like, I guess so. I'm just worried that like it's kind of like getting Alexa in my house. Like I'm like, yeah, I like her, but she also drives me insane. So I'm like, would I like be like, this is too expensive of a gift, and it's too like you become so reliant on it that you can't get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, it's literally making my dinner and cleaning my house, and if I get rid of it, like my whole life is gonna be come upside down. I don't know. I just was like worried about it.
That's funny. I've never had any problem cutting things out of my life the second I realized I'm ruining it. I'm like, and you're gone. We
Yeah.
got rid of our entire Nintendo. We purchased so many games that we probably had at least $1,000 sunk into that Nintendo,
You should
and we
have
got rid
sold
of
it
it.
to me. We were trying to get
I
one for Christmas.
Well, there you go. I
What
have it
happened?
somewhere. It's like stored in the backwaters of Corey's office or something. I don't know where we put it. But we were like, this is ruining our kids' lives. We're just getting rid of it. And that's dramatic. They weren't on as much as a lot of kids are, but they were fighting over it so much. They were obsessed over the idea of it. Even when it
Yeah,
wasn't on, it was like taking over their brains. And I was like, no. So we just, yeah, I was like, goodbye. I don't care about any
true.
of the money we put into this. I don't care about anything, like, except for their well being. So it's
That's true.
gone.
I act like free will is not an option. Like I'm like I could get rid of Alexa tomorrow and I'd be fine. And actually, if my phone was like just I couldn't have a phone anymore, I'd be so relieved. I'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sweet.
So I saw this video that I actually think is kind of genius. I'm considering it. It's a very fascinating idea. It's these girls, these teenage girls. They have two phones. So one is a flip phone and one is this iPhone. And they keep the iPhone as a computer. So they keep it in their room and they only use it at night after they're done with all their chores and all of their everything.
Is
And the
this like
flip phone is
how old are they?
they're like 20.
Are they
And
roommates or something? What do you?
I just saw, I don't know. I just
Oh,
saw, yeah, they're friends. So I saw
okay,
a YouTube video of it, and they
okay.
they decided as a friend group, we're going to purchase flip phones, and this is going to be our means of
Oh,
contact, talking to each other. The cell phone stays home all day, and then at night we can make our YouTube videos, and we can whatever we need to do on our little computer. They treat it
yeah,
like a computer because it
yeah,
can do great things. But
yeah,
they're like, we came to this conclusion that our cell phones were the cause of all the drama in our lives. Every time we had a bad day, it came via our phone. And so
yeah.
we're like, we just left it home. We simplified our lives with the flip phone, and they're like, we're so much happier. And so I was
I
like,
want
that's an
to do that.
interesting, I kind of do too, because I was like, I don't
Let's
really
do
want
it.
to get rid of I might, I don't really want to get rid of my iPhone. I really like the computing ability of it. And I love that we can like make a podcast on
Yeah,
here and we can
yeah,
FaceTime, and there's so much you can do. It's amazing.
yeah,
Um, but as far as communication goes, maybe if you treated it more like a computer than a communicator, you'd
yeah,
be happier,
yeah.
possibly. I don't know. It's an
I don't.
interesting
I Yeah, I
option.
just think if you carried your laptop with you everywhere you went, you'd just be super distracted because I mean, that's the same thing as a phone though. It's like it's got the email and it's got the social media apps to check, and
Yep.
then it's got,
Yep.
for me, it's like Googling crap that doesn't matter. And I know we've talked about this before, but I'm like, why do I need to know that right now? And so like I'll stop everything. The kids are like losing it. I'm like, I have to Google this because you're
Yes.
just like
Yes.
have the thought and you're
Or
curious. And you're like, if I don't do it now, I'll forget. And I'm like, so
I'll
what?
forget. And you're training yourself in instant gratification, even when you just find out information that you're
Yeah,
interested in. You know, it's
yeah.
just a constant training of I don't have to wait for things. And I
Hmm.
think we live in a world where that's going to be inevitable anyway. But I think you can slow that down at least
Yeah,
and kind of teach yourself, you know, to be slower. But
yeah,
I use and I'm not ungrateful for my cell phone. I use it all the time, especially in homeschool. Like we use
yeah,
it all the time, and I love that I have that. But yeah, I think if I'm not using it as a computer, I don't know that I want it as my means of communication. It really does stress me out. It's the
I
reason
know.
both of us, we just kind of put it aside for the day, and people get mad at us, like, I tried to get a hold of you, blah, blah. But I'm like, if you send me a text that isn't like life and death, I'll just answer it within 24 hours. Like, you know,
Hmm.
call me if you
Yeah.
really need me, and please don't call me unless it's an emergency. I don't want to be
Let
on the
me
phone
put
all
out
day.
there, nobody call me.
I really do hate getting phone calls unless it's a mom or sister. Those are like big exceptions. And Corey, those are on my list of exceptions. But other than that,
Yeah,
I hate it. I'm like,
yeah,
just text me. It's so much simpler.
yeah,
I can get to it within 24 hours. I don't have to answer you right away. I just, ugh.
yeah,
Anyway, um, and I think like as a mom too, we have, and as women, we have networks. So we're always in contact with each other. We're always talking. So if you allowed people to call you all the time, you'd be on the phone all day. At least I would. And I'm like, I hate that. So anyway, um, yeah,
huh,
so here's the other concern about an optimist. Are you done with that thought? Sorry,
yeah.
I talk a lot. Do you
I.
have anything else to say? I'm gonna slow down.
It's okay. That's why
Um,
I work. It's fine.
I just rewatch these, and I'm like, I just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Like I need to just breathe every now and then. Would you like to add? Is there anything you'd like to say?
I'll add if I want, if I need to. It's
Okay, just totally stop me. I know you do anyway, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm worried you'll just let me take over. Like, it's not worth it. I'm like, it's always worth it. Please
it's
interrupt
always it's fine.
me. Okay. Um. Anyway, one of the concerns with Optimus would be hackers, right? Like, let's say you have it babysitting your kids, and a
Yeah,
hacker does get into it, and like
yeah,
Optimus kidnap the children and bring them to me.
yeah.
Like, that does freak me out. That is one thing that I'm like, no. But
Or what if it's
again,
like its batteries die while it's holding your baby? You're like, I don't know. There's so many things. I'm like, that's creepy. I would not let a
yeah,
baby kids. There's no way.
yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of the same thing as like, what if porn pops up on my child's iPad? You know what I mean? Like, you and I handle that by just not letting them on the iPad very
Yeah.
often, or like under certain circumstances. But we still have it in our lives. We still allow it. There are just limitations. We're very careful with it. It has benefited us. Like Scotty has this little learning app that she does every day while we do homeschool. I allow her to go do that on my phone, and it's
Hmm.
like colors and numbers, and she knows all of them. It's great. And I'm
Yeah.
teaching her, and preschool's teaching her, and this app is teaching her. So it's coming from everywhere, but it's just reinforcing these lessons, and it's
Yeah.
only like 20 minutes a day. I love it. I'm like, I think it's a great tool for learning. So yeah, I understand the fears. I think there's so much good that could come out of it. Like I'm picturing, I want to go on about the good things. Well, let's keep talking about the bad things because there's a list, and then we can talking about the good things, but
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that like needs to see a million people use it first and then I'll maybe get on board.
that's why we're sisters. I will pilot everything for you, and then crash and burn. You can be like, "That was stupid. I'm not gonna do that." I just like I cannot help but I just want to jump in with. I want 4 Optimuses in my house. I just want, I want to jump in. I still
Same
have a
way with those
problem
like
though. Being
I was
like,
on
this
the
is
same
dumb.
way
I
with
don't
those
like
dumb
it.
little sorry, what?
I still have a problem cutting it out if I don't like it. So
Yeah. I was the same way with those dumb little like robot vacuums too. Like I still don't have one because I was like,
I
I
don't
don't know,
like those.
on the end seems a little too good to be true. Like every, and then
It'll
like
really
everyone,
clean my house. Really?
you're really gonna vacuum, okay?
Sure, you're not recording the layout of my house so that you can rob it.
You can use that later somehow.
Yeah.
You can
I mean,
rob.
if all of technology turned on us, we'd be screwed for sure. But I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't.
but
You and I both live
like turns
remotely
out
now.
most people I know that have those robot vacuums are like, yeah, it doesn't like it's kind of annoying. Like
Yeah.
and like they still work and like there's people still have them and buy them. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying like I don't know. There's a benefit to like I'm just gonna let like the whole wave go first and then
Oh,
I
totally. There's so much wisdom in that, especially like I have this little split and it always drives me crazy.
splits are cute. I
There's
think
so much. What's that?
I said I think splits are cute and your wings.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Cute.
Um,
Very good.
well, I'm like, no, that's good to know because I'm always like, ah. What was I gonna say? So there is wisdom in that, especially because they'll launch their first ones even before they're like really ready. People will buy them because they're a novelty and they're amazing,
Yeah.
and then they'll come out with the cheaper, better version 10 years down the road or whatever. So yeah, definitely you'll get the better, cheaper version later. But I'm like, I can't afford to wait. I've got little children now. I'm doing this. I yeah. I seriously am like counting down the days. If these come out later than 2026, I'm gonna be so mad at you. I'm gonna write him an email and be like, I am a mom with 5 children. I'm homeschooling. I'm trying to do business with my sister. I'm running stuff at church and at school and at whatever. I'm like, you are
You
you are my
promised
hope
me.
on the horizon.
Okay.
You better
I
not fail me.
I really, really want the self-driving, self-cleaning car. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap, I want one of those.
Yeah.
So,
We could literally visit each other on the weekends with something like
oh
that.
my gosh.
We
And
only
it
see each
in
other
itself.
twice a year, and it will change the way we interact. I could go see Coley. We have so many siblings that I see everyone once a year at the reunion, and I desperately want to go to everyone's houses. Like, I
Yeah.
really want that, and I'm like, I just can't. Like, I can't afford the time. It's too like if you're gonna drive straight through, it's gonna be exhausting. It's not worth it by the time you get there.
Yeah.
If you can work in your car and sleep while it's driving you, you haven't wasted time on your trip.
Yeah.
You can actually continue your job from your computer or whatever. So if that's a concern, or if gas is a concern, a Tesla is going to take electricity instead.
That,
And if
yeah.
all the concerns of travel are gone, now we can visit the entire United States. Like, I am so excited about this. It's going
Yeah.
to open up the world to us. I just think that's so cool.
I am excited about
Um,
cars for sure. I'm like, well, and think of if everyone had self-driving cars, there would be no more accidents, which like let's look up the accident stats because it's ridiculous. Like I'm like, well, and not only that, but DUIs and stuff, so people could go
yes.
home without killing
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
for
Oh my
parties.
gosh. Yes. Which you can see the bad side. Right now people will get wasted even more.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to learn to make big kid choices these days. So okay. There's so much to this robot thing. I just have so many thoughts on it for the economy, everything. I don't
Yeah, I'm just looking up stats real quick.
know.
So, yeah, they said last year there was 42,000 fatalities in car accidents. 1.6 million people injured. Anyway, there's like tons of dollars and people injured and dying and anyway, that would solve all that. I'm like, that's crazy. Like if everyone had
Yeah.
one. That would take
Yeah.
several years, but anyway.
Yeah. But still, I agree with you. I think it could take that almost down to a zero problem,
Yeah.
which that's a huge way that we all die. Like, it's kind of like someone just cured cancer. I don't know,
Yeah.
not quite, but still, like,
Yeah.
that's we'll see even less deaths. Like that's so cool.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
know. I wish there was more enthusiasm. I get the caution. I do get it. But I'm like, this is amazing. This
Yeah,
is gonna make all of our lives so cool.
yeah.
Anyway, so much more convenient, even than they already are. We already live in convenience, but
Yeah.
it's going
So,
to allow having a family, like a big
yeah,
family, to be
yeah.
an easier feat. That's a hard thing
True.
to do right
That's
now.
true.
It's really hard.
Um, what was I gonna say about kids came in and wiped all my thoughts. They're all gone. Cars and gasoline and oh, okay. So that's the other thing that Elon has done with Tesla in general is just he somehow advertised it to make it be cool to drive this electric vehicle. So before it's always been the stigma, like you're from California, you're from Portland, you're
You're
like
crunchy, yeah,
yeah, crunchy if you drive an electric vehicle. And now he's made it into a sports car, which that was like the big thing in his book that he talked about. He's like, I don't want this like freaking little ice cube on wheels. Like I want it to be cool, like that is
yeah.
we're gonna go back to the drawing board. And people would come and they bring him designs and he'd be like, that looks weird. Go back. And like it would run perfectly, everything would be perfect. But if it looked weird, he's like, no, go again, do it again. And so he
He's
was like,
so
he
smart
was
for that.
very, very particular about making it cool, which was
Yep,
genius because then everybody's on board, which he understands the psychology
he does.
of the
Yeah.
typical American, which is what makes him so famous, I think. But
Yes.
that anyway, so what's wrong with that? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so our friend owns a Tesla and he let us test drive it, and we were like,
Yeah.
holy crap! Like Chancey, okay, like country boy, like you don't get electric
He loves
anything, like
his
all
trucks. Yeah.
gasoline. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, and he was like, "This is a freaking cool car,"
It's
and he's like,
cool.
not. He doesn't like electric anything. He thinks they're all
No.
stupid. But he's like, "Yeah, I would actually consider owning one of these." And he would never
Yep.
thought that before driving one. But it
Yep.
goes like 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. So he's like, "Holy
Well, and they're
crap!" Anyway,
smooth. They're smooth to drive.
smooth.
Like you
Yeah.
feel nothing in them, and
Mm-hmm.
they're sleek to look at, and you
Yeah.
feel luxurious when you're in it. There's a
And if
whole
it's like,
experience with it.
and it like saves you so much money in gas. Like, why
Right.
would
Right.
you? So
Well,
anyway,
and apparently, I think this is correct. I hope it is. Pretty sure they're a lot cheaper to insure too.
really,
So,
let me
yes,
look at.
because right now I was looking up the demographic of who's buying them are going to be people who are less prone to accidents and
Interesting.
problems. And so I'm pretty sure that they are also cheaper to insure. Let me
Interesting.
look.
That's coming from an insurance wife, so you better be right.
I'm right. No kidding. Pretty sure
Oh,
Cora told me that.
AI says it's generally more expensive. But it depends because it says the Model 3 is the cheapest Tesla to insure. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. I just know that Corey's brother-in-law has one and he bought it for the reason that it was cheaper to put his daughter on a Tesla than it was like your average family car
Hmm.
on their insurance, and she's a teenager. So I don't know what that's about, but maybe if you
So,
have
like
teenage
this,
drivers.
yeah, maybe for teenagers, I don't know. This just says it's more expensive to insure than gas cars because they're more expensive to buy and repair, which is
Sure,
true.
and I get that. That makes
That's a big
sense.
reason that we have been, because we were trying to find a commuter car and we're like, the big reason that we don't want all electric is because they're so expensive to fix. Like if the battery goes out, it's just
Yes.
like screwed. So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Nancy doesn't know how to work on them. So that's the other, like, it's always hard to
That's
break into
frustrating.
technology because he knows cars, he knows them well, but like
No.
electric he doesn't. So he's like, I don't know. It's hard to break into that. Anyway,
Yes, and it just makes us that much more dependent, right? Like not the
yeah.
average person can just get it their elbows in
Yeah,
and fix
which
it.
I think
Yeah,
you can. There's videos and stuff you could figure it out, but it's
sure.
just more expensive and
Whole new
people
ball
are just
game.
resistant to change, so it's hard.
Well, and this is the same thing as when horse and buggy turned into a car in every garage, like all of a
Yeah,
sudden everyone's like, the jobs that'll be gone, the blah. And I'm like,
yeah.
it's true. Like all of a sudden all the horseshoeing shops are out of
Hmm.
business and all the
Hmm.
carriage making and all the
Yeah,
carriage repair and all, like, yeah, it's a whole new ball game and you can
yeah,
either move forward with that or find a different job, which is
yeah,
really unfortunate. I hate that for people, but at the same time, it is part of living. Like all of us, not all of us, but many of us have had to relocate or get new jobs or whatever based on circumstances outside our control.
sorry, Nat, I'm still here.
And
Well,
I
here's
just
the
think
thing,
it seems
though.
like jobs are in abundance. Am I wrong about that? It just seems like
I
we're
don't
in a
know.
time right now to get a job
I
anywhere.
don't know, but I do agree with you that there is like a Americans. It's an entire culture thing of living paycheck to paycheck, and then like, well, what do I do if my boss decides to fire me? It's like you have choice.
Yeah.
You can choose
Well,
to get a second job, you can choose to get more employable, you can choose to save your money, and it's tight and it's scary and it's sad and it's all the things, but it is possible. And so yeah, I agree with you that American culture in general is very like
yeah, it just seems entitled
yeah.
and freaked out in a country where like jobs are in abundance. At least where
Yeah.
we are, like nobody wants to work, so there's so many jobs
That
available.
okay, that is true. And I feel like, and maybe this is very limited experience, but I feel like every time we travel and we go somewhere, like a oh yeah, so like I feel like every time we travel, there's like our, and I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but when we go to like California or somewhere that's like lots of culturally diverse, there all the Uber drivers seem to be like immigrants, and they're
Yep,
always blown away by how good the work is,
yep,
how many
yep,
jobs are available. Like we had this
yep,
one Uber driver, he was from, I don't even know. I can't even pronounce it, even if I did know, but it was like somewhere Middle East. And
yeah,
he was like, he was saying that he was so grateful to have this Uber driving job. He's like, I can pay for this car. He had a Tesla, I think. He's like, I can
yeah.
pay for this car with this job. It's insane.
And he's like,
He's
I'm just
cost of
sitting. I'm
living.
just picking people up and dropping them off.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. He's like, cost of living where I was is crazy. You couldn't get a car. Like no one had a car. You rode your bike
yeah,
because only rich people could afford a car. He's like, the fact that I
yep.
can drive this blows my mind. And like he had like three jobs and he was just so grateful to have it. And I'm like, yeah, that is where I'm like, yeah, Americans have a major like mindset shift that needs to happen because we're
Well, if it
what can
doesn't
we
happen,
do? Yeah.
if it doesn't happen, then we will be the ones out of work.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a time when minorities like rise and become the more prominent, like how do you put that, like more powerful and prominent people in America, if they're willing to work and not whine and be grateful for what they have.
Yeah.
We're kind of in this place right now where it seems like, and I don't want to be like all the white families, but like predominantly, it
Mhm.
seems like they're kind of living on second generation wealth now. Like in our generation, we're kind of heading into that where it's like, well, mom and dad will take care of me. I can live in their basement and they can.
Mhm.
That wasn't the case for our parents. They were like, get out,
Right.
you have to. I can't afford you anymore. And now parents can, oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, so we gotta move locations.
Hello, location move. Um, what was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, I feel like we need to get back on robots. I don't know where we were. Sorry.
Robots taking over the world.
So, I guess here's my thing too. Like everyone's like, well, what if? Maybe I don't understand them quite. But like, what if they decide to take over? I'm like, then I'd blow its head off with a shotgun. Like, why? It's not a human. I have no moral dilemma killing a robot. That's like the best. That's the best thing that could turn on you because you could just blow it to where and you wouldn't feel bad. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what if your actual servant, was doing terrible things? You can't kill it. Your robot servant, yes, you can. So
That makes me laugh because I can completely see you doing that very thing.
yeah, if it's doing creepy things, you bet I would. And I
Uh,
I just don't see why everyone's like, what would I do if my robot took over? I'm like, what would you do? Pull yourself together. You are
you are
Elastigirl.
Elastigirl.
What would you do? It's a robot. You're a
Yeah,
human.
but what if it's like super strong or something?
It's not
What if it?
stronger than your shotgun shells, I promise. It's not bulletproof.
You don't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know that. At least this one isn't. Maybe they'll come out with one that is. But I'm like,
Generation
maybe
three.
you could like trip it and tie it up. I just like it walks like Joe Biden. You can take that thing down.
Now you could.
Like I just like you see that thing walking around barely able to hold a drink and everyone's like, what will I do if it takes over my life? I'm like,
So many things.
that thing walks like it pooped its pants. You're fine.
Possibilities are endless.
Oh my gosh.
I like, well,
So
anyhow. So yeah. Any more negative things to say about robots? Let's talk about good things because I'm probably gonna get interrupted again, and I don't know how long I can hold them off.
okay. Okay, yay, because I love good things. And we can argue about this. If you don't agree with me, let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
But Okay, here's the thing is like I have my kids do a chore every single day. We do homeschool from like 11, well, they start at 8 till like 2 or 3 every day, you know, with breaks and lunch and all the stuff in between. But like it takes us that long. It's a huge, huge part of our life right now. I still require them to do a chore, get themselves ready. I want them to have some like dignity and, you know, they have to clean up their area that they trash, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And our house is still disgusting all the time. And I'm like, I make them clean up after themselves. We live in this, you know? And it would reduce my anxiety by like 900% if I had a robot cleaning while I was homeschooling. I'm like, that would be the most, I want to cry thinking about it. I'm like, that is the most incredible thing I've ever heard. And anyone who says Optimist isn't amazing can talk to me. No, I'm just kidding. But
There I am talking
but
to you.
yeah, no. But I just see so much good in that because I'm like now, and I can see how you could get on the slippery slope. But I'm like, if you're aware of the problems that it could cause, I think you'd be fine. So, for example, I would never ask our robot to do my kids' chores for them. I do not want soft kids. I don't want it, so I won't have it. Like I want them
Yeah.
to be kids who can do their jobs and understand that their environment is theirs to take care of and all that. However, there's been throughout history, from the beginning of woman, even in the Bible, everyone had a maid. And I'm like, why is it that now in America, when we have so much money, we don't have that culture? None of us have, the higher ups do now. We're getting to that point now
Yeah.
where you see kind of like higher middle class are starting to hire like people to come in and clean for them and
Yeah.
things like that. And it's kind of looked down on by like other
Well,
women,
because
you know,
American culture is so like you work hard and you stop
independent.
being, yeah, all
Yes.
stuck in. Yeah.
Yes, and there's some good to that because you can totally see how kids raised in a home where a a servant is doing all of their work for them would become very entitled and think that everyone is supposed to do all of their crap for them. I get that. However, even with all of our efforts and us pulling out all the stops, I feel like we just cannot catch up on life. We're gone all the time on weekends for sports. We are
Mm-hmm.
doing homeschool all the time. My kids have instruments that they're trying to learn. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be a good mom and engage with my toddlers and my
Yeah.
baby. And I'm still trying to maintain laundry and cook and clean. A huge
Yeah.
house, honestly and truly, is too big for me.
Yeah.
It's too big for me.
Yeah.
And a huge plot of land that's too much for me to handle right now at this stage of
Yep.
my life. And
Yep.
I'm like, I would think I had died and gone to heaven if I had a robot to do crap for me around here. like, and I'm serious. I would still have our same routine. Kids, you need to do this. I'd still make them mow the lawns. I'd still make them do like clean up their space and clean
Yeah.
their chore for the day. But the robot could do the deep cleaning. We never have our fridge deep cleaned
Oh,
ever because I can never get to that.
yeah.
We never have our laundry fully done. It's like always kind of done,
Yeah.
but it's like there's always more. We never
Yeah.
have like the cracks and crevices vacuumed out. You know, and I know we're meant to just live in our houses and stuff, but I'm like, if I can live in a really clean environment, I would choose that 100%.
Yeah.
It makes me happier. It makes me have less anxiety. I think it's good for kids to be in cleanliness. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot attain that right now. And even using my kids and trying to be more regulated and getting our schedule on, which I feel like we're doing great with that right now.
Yeah.
I just can't, I can't do it all. So,
This stage of
so
life is just like crazy busy too.
it's
Like
so busy.
I'm starting to like get into that. Like for the longest time I just had little kids and we kind of like go to the park and like go
Yeah.
home and that's kind of like your life.
Yeah.
Not like easy. It's not. Little kids are
It
exhausting.
kind of is though. At least for
But
me, it was.
it's
Mentally, maybe not.
mentally it's exhausting, but it's physically easier. Yeah,
Way easier.
in my opinion. Having older and younger is the most exhausting combo.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Anyway, but yeah, we're gone and we're only gone twice a week for sports and stuff. Like we could definitely be gone more. I scaled back on piano and stuff. I was like, I can't do this anymore. We do piano
Yep.
like through my phone through Simply Piano because I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep. I
I'm
can't
not
do everything.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing anyway. We only gone twice a week, but like one of those days we're gone literally from 4:30 till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
like at dance and crap and bleh. Anyway, and so yeah, so we're not home and yeah, this stage I don't know where I'm going with this, but just I feel like that robot would definitely be catered to like our stage of life moms.
Oh my gosh.
Of
Can you
like
imagine? It would clean your house while you're at dance.
yeah, yeah. Oh my
Ugh, you
I
come
would
home to
love
a
it. I
sparkling
feel like
house.
right now, like I'm very much a schedule person. Everything is like
Yes.
expected. Nothing is like not expected for the most part. I mean, obviously life comes in, but for the most part, my schedule is very like routine and like I wake up at
Yeah.
the same time
You
and go
know
to bed.
what's coming.
I know what's coming. My kids know what's coming. But at the same like through all of that, I'm like my house is just never clean. And that is
No.
100% homeschool. I blame homeschool because
Yep.
when the kids were in school, I my house was clean. Like it just
It was
was. 'Cause I
sparkling. Yep.
had,
Yep.
anyway, so yeah, I would definitely love a robot for that. And I would love it for doing a garden for me because I could not do a
Yes.
garden last year to save my life. I
Yes.
tried and I was like, I
Yeah.
can't. Part of me like wonders this Instagram romanticizing homestead thing is kind of irking me. It's kind of like irritating me. Like I kind of want to
Yeah.
get on there, like make a homestead Instagram and be like, this is a reality. It kind of sucks. Like you never leave
Yeah.
your house. You're weeding all day freaking long. Your animals get out and they ruin people's yards and they poop on your stuff
Speaking for a friend.
and it's freezing and you got to go out there and milk the cow and you got to go feed the chickens and like anyway, I'm just like I don't like this like romanticized like no, don't. That being said, there is a lot of beauty and joy that comes from animals and I get that. I just it's just so messy and it's
Well, and I think people just like you do with your home because you're really good at managing your schedule and your kids and your home. They do that with their homestead. You know, we wake up at the exact same
yeah,
time and milk our cows.
yeah,
We
right.
put them in this fence and everything's neatly laid out and we shovel
Mm-hmm.
the poop every Friday. And if you run it on a system, I'm sure it's great. But my our problem right now is I'm like, I do not physically have enough hours in the day to run my land and my home and homeschool my kids.
I know.
I don't. So, I think both of us are this way. We're not sitters. I don't think I ever sit and do nothing ever,
No.
ever, except for like at the end of the day, which is my time and I love that. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's always more to be done. We're always moving. So it's not coming from like, oh, like we'll get to that. I'm like, we're working hard all day long.
Yeah.
But and I love that. I'm not complaining about it, but I do think that I would be so much I would have a huge burden relieved if my environment was neater. I don't like a dirty environment, but I just don't have a way of keeping that at the level I want it to be because even if it's straightened up, which I require my kids to do, like we will
Uh-huh.
keep it straight and neat. Um there's still dust. I don't even get to dusting. There's still a dirty floor. I finally vacuumed and mopped for the first time in 3
Yeah.
weeks yesterday.
There is
There's
something though, like I don't know. I've never met anybody in our stage of life who has a perfectly clean house. I never have, like ever.
yeah,
Like I'm
unless they have servants and they live back in the 1800s. They
yeah,
did.
unless they have extra help, but I've just never seen it. And so, I mean, yeah, if you're
That's
going
my
over,
whole point.
but uh, but I'm just saying, like, there is something about like I don't know, kind of being okay with your stage of life, I guess. I don't know.
So I agree with you that if you have no other option, embrace it and find happiness in it.
Yeah.
100%. There's wisdom in that no matter what you're doing. But I don't think that for my personality and maybe women in general that we're meant to live in we like our environments. We're very sensitive to our environments. Just I
Hmm.
wonder if it's like a biological thing, like this has to be ready for, a nest for children,
Yeah.
something. But I know very few women who are comfortable in dirt or in clutter or in,
Yeah.
they might I definitely embrace it more casually than a lot of women. I think you do too. And like, we were raised that way. Don't freak out. You're fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my happy place is in a very clean home. Like, and
Oh
you'd
yeah.
never know that about me
Yeah.
because it's a never clean. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel so happy when my environment is clean and smells good and everything's,
Hmm.
in order. And there's something to be said for your systems and getting all that. But I agree with you that either I've never seen it or the people who do manage it seem to be it's their lifestyle seems to make them crazy. Like if
Yeah.
everything doesn't
Yeah.
go just so, it makes them nutty. And I'm like,
It's
and I
almost an
totally get
OCD. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What's that?
That it almost becomes an OCD.
It becomes an OCD. And so and again, there's something to be said for people who are better at this skill than I am in particular. I really am not good at
Yeah.
ordering my life, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm terrible at it, but I'm definitely not one of the good people at it.
Yeah.
But I have no qualms with having help in my. I would love that. But
Yeah.
there are problems with inviting a human into your home because they have personalities and backgrounds and issues and things you just can't get to. You don't know. You never know a person, not
Yeah.
really. So I would never be comfortable having a person in my home who I all the time. Like I'm like, you're with my kids, you're taking care of my home, you're with my stuff. I don't know you, you
Yeah.
know? So I'm like, I'm more comfortable with a robot, you know? Like it's fully under my command. I think that's amazing. I
Yeah.
feel zero guilt asking it to work 24 hours. I feel, there's so many good
And
things
it would
about
be
that.
amazing to have it cook and clean for you. It would.
Yes.
Well, and
Yes.
the thing is, like, I don't love cooking. Like, well, that's not true. There are times when I do love cooking, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
It'd be
if
like
this was like
having,
my
yeah.
love language and like I was constantly like baking things and like, just trying to fill everybody up and
Yeah.
that would be different. But like where I don't like it, I'd be like, yeah, you can do that, robot. That'd be
Oh,
fine.
100%. And
Probably
I
tastes
think,
good, like my daughter said.
yeah, okay, but it's kind of like, oh, it's taking the place of moms. I'm like, no, it would be more like having another woman in your home because,
Yeah.
um, no offense, men, you're wonderful, but like, like when you have a woman come stay with you, they just know, like they're like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do this. I'm
do.
gonna, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
You don't have to
different. I'm
spell it all out.
Nope, no. And men, you bring stuff to the table and you're amazing. We love
Yeah.
you. But there is something about having a woman there with you. And it to me it'd be like that. So it'd be like, today I want to go and get my hands dirty and I want to dig in my garden. You do the dishes. I'm gonna go. That
Yes,
would just like bring me so much joy to know
that's
that
true.
something is being cleaned while I'm out
Uh,
there gardening with my kids. That's
Now you're
so
gonna make me want to
cool.
get an Optimus. I was like,
I'm
I don't
telling you,
know.
I can
Well,
only see the good in this. I think
I
it'd be
only
so amazing. I have a dog who I hate walking. I hate it. She's so untrained on the leash. It's my fault, but she's big. I hate walking her. And I'm like, if I had an Optimist that was strong enough to walk that dog, I'd send her on 4 walks a day because she's so obnoxious. I'm like, that would be a game
uh,
changer for me.
that was
Because
one of
right now
the
she has property to run on, but it's not a
yeah.
walk. She needs a walk.
That was one of the comments on the YouTube videos where they're like, I'd like to see my German Shepherd walk with this Optimus that can't even walk. He's like,
I really think I might
but
name
yeah,
my Optimus Joe Biden if it walks like that.
Joe Biden, you should. Hey, give me one tiny second. Can you give me 1 second?
You're
It'll be like
good.
5 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I we went to the thrift store today to get Halloween costumes because that's
Did
how
you
I
find?
roll. I do it like last second. I'm like, oh yeah, Halloween. Bleh. Anyway,
I haven't even bought mine yet, so.
yeah. The only reason I even bought them is because Ellie has a Halloween party at her dance class, and anyway, I was like, oh yeah. Anyway,
I don't love this holiday either. It feels
I
so
don't
like
like it either.
empty.
How do we do it? Because here's what I don't like. I don't like that every year it's expected to get your costumes are done by the way. Are it's expected to get a new costume and like my kids dress up bucket I just had to gut out like recently because they had like years and years of old Halloween costumes and they play with them but it was getting
My
ridiculous
kids do.
where they don't fit them, they're ripped, they're
Yeah,
gross. It was
yeah,
like why do we do that? Like there's so much consumption in America that just I don't like
it
it. I'm like,
bogs you down.
do
I
it.
think, yeah, I think if you were strong enough, which I'm not, if you're strong enough to say, sorry, child, you can pick one of our old costumes, have
Hmm.
fun with that, we would just naturally be like less
Yeah,
consumptive, a bit
yeah.
less of consumers. I can't say that. We would not consume as much without fathom.
Without
Without fathom. Anyway, we would consume less because we would just choose to. I think we feel the pressure of our peers so much that it trickles down to our children because
yeah.
um, I buy my kids costumes because I don't want to be a bad mom, not because I think that it's fun or that I like it or that it's good for them. It's stupid. I
I
make a lot of choices like that.
yeah, I'm trying to think because I like part of me I like to see them excited and they get really
Yeah,
excited and
that is fun.
like they're very like I don't know they get excited about thrift store stuff, like they're not like it has to be brand new, it has to be exactly what I want. I'm like you get what you get and like if the
Yeah,
thrift store doesn't have it then too bad. Anyway,
yeah. Let's find
uh,
something here that you can work with. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, and luckily the thrift store had so many options. And it is kind of fun to see them get excited and stuff. I just like I don't like the idea of of the pressure to get it every single year because everybody is doing it. You know what I mean?
I
And like
know. Yeah, I
kids,
do.
and I'm like, ugh, I don't know. And I have
From
expectations
yeah,
like it anyway.
no, basically from October to April, I hate my life because it's like one consumer holiday after the
Uh,
other where they tricked us into buying crap that we're gonna hate for the
yeah,
rest of the year, fill our
man,
homes with junk,
I
and not
like
make the kids happy. Oh, that's cute. You got that at a thrift
Charlie's
store?
costume she got at the thrift store. Okay, bend down.
Oh my gosh, that's
Cute.
darling.
It goes all good.
Wow. You scored, sister.
Yeah, Charlie picked that out herself when she first saw it. I was like, that's not really like a costume. And then I was like, oh, actually, we can make that be a witch. And then she found
Oh,
this.
like that didn't even come with the hat?
Isn't that cute?
Oh my gosh, seriously, that is so cute.
Yeah, I like it too. It's very Charlie.
Excellent choice, Charlie. That's so cute. She looks like Wednesday. Wednesday has a dress
That's
like that.
that's what I said. I was like, do you want to be Wednesday Adams? And she's like, I guess. But then she saw the witch costume hat. She wanted to be a witch. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's really cute. You watched Wednesday the series or no?
Yes, I loved it so much.
Okay, I'm rewatching it. I told you with the boys through VidAngel. It has been the funnest pre-Halloween thing we've ever
Oh,
done.
fun. Okay, let me
It's
think about it.
really, it
I,
really is kid friendly without the gore and the swear words.
I think it'd be too scary. My girls are really sensitive.
Okay, yeah,
Charlie
I,
might be able to handle it, but I don't know.
it is scary. It is definitely like mysterious, and there's monsters, and yeah,
Yeah,
so very
I
easily.
would like it though. I'll see what Chancey thinks. So it could be fun family thing,
Yeah,
but
I could see how that'd be traumatizing though, especially if they're sensitive to scary things. My boys are like, I don't know, they're loving it. It's been cute. So,
this
is
is
that
for
Bryn? Let me see. I can't see.
bend down. It's a mermaid one.
Bryn, that's so pretty. I can't believe you got those at the thrift store.
That's cute.
You're so lucky.
We have a thrift
I
store like as big as a Walmart. It's crazy huge, and they just have like
yeah.
rows and rows of clothes, and I love it. We go there for
Wow. Look
fun.
how cute she looks in that too. That's so pretty on her.
Yeah,
That's cute.
I got
Uh,
Jackson a little monkey costume.
aw,
Act like
that's
I
so
don't like Halloween. I love seeing them dress up, the little kids.
that's true. I think it's like if it didn't cost $30 and it cost five, we'd all be happier, you know?
Yeah,
Like
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. Thrift store is pretty cheap. It's just like I think it's just the expectation. Like I wish it just wasn't there. I guess I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what I wish because I like
I
dressing
don't
them up
know what I wish either because I do love it when they get all excited about their costumes. It's just
too.
so short lived, but I'm like, I guess that's childhood. You know, we just get these little moments.
Yeah,
So just enjoy them.
I was thinking. Man, I've been like really going
Oh, look how excited they are. We're like,
this is
we
Natalie's
don't buy costumes.
like a
How cute! Oh my gosh,
Little Mermaid
you got
one.
you got that one at the thrift store too. All of them are from
Yeah,
the thrift store.
we got all of them there. So
Dang, you scored. That's so cute, girls. I love it. I love that you found like mermaid outfits that work for how like you can walk around. I didn't even know they
I
had
know.
stuff like that. That's so cute. You should like get some purple hairspray and go all out with their hair and makeup for mermaids. That
No,
would be
I was
cute.
gonna get like a. They wanted me to dye their hair pink with that spray. It doesn't ever
Yeah,
work though, but I told them I'd do
yeah.
sparkly makeup. It's like,
You if you did a darker color like blue, it might show up better.
that's true. It would show up, and Charlie's hair always shows up really well. The girl's darker brown doesn't. The girls.
Yeah, it won't show. Yeah.
Well, they were at the thrift store today. Uh, they're like, I don't have boobs, mom, and I was like, no, because the mermaid costume has like bells or whatever, and she's like, and then Ellie's like, I don't have boobs either, and like everyone was like,
And you're
oh,
like, and you never will. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah, get used to join the
Welcome to your future.
welcome to my life. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
but
hilarious.
so anyway, I was gonna say I've just been like really rethinking Christmas lately because I was like,
Yeah.
I actually sat down and like wrote down how much I would want to spend on each kid, like what I would actually get, and like I was like, it's not that much. It's not crazy. Like I don't like I kind of get sucked up in the holiday just like everybody, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, they
yeah,
need all this, and I want
I
them
know.
to come out and say, that's what I want. And so
Right.
I ended up just spending a crap ton on like stupid stuff so that they don't use, and it goes to waste. And so this year I'm trying to be really intentional about just like getting them, and I want them to be excited and it's going to be a good gift, but I want it to be good. I don't want it to be
Yeah. No, not a bunch of little crappies, just one good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll
Yep.
see. I say year and then I go crazy every year, but
I was really good last year until the last second, and then I forget too, and I'm gonna remind myself of it this year, that between grandparents and
no.
friends, and they get a bunch of little things anyway, and so one big present from us and like some jammies is seriously plenty. Like
Yeah.
they'll have a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
I just am over the toys that they end up everywhere, and I hate
No.
it. I just want to get one big like outdoor toy and then be done. So
yeah,
we've done that a few years in a row. We've done like their swing that they still play on. We got several Christmases ago. Their climbing dome. We try and do outdoor toys. Sucky thing about that is though, it's like they can't play with it till spring. We're like, Merry Christmas. And they're like, yay. And then they don't use it until like 4 months later. But they use it. They use it all the time. So I'm like, I don't know.
I know. I wanted to get my kids like passes somewhere. Anyway, they've been dying to go to this like Worlds of Fun thing, but like it doesn't open until spring, and so I was like, I was gonna do it, and then they're gonna be like, "Yay! I'll hold on to this for 4 months."
I know. We thought about a cruise with our kids, but I was like, there's just something about that just feels not Christmassy. I don't like that either for some reason. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
I know. I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's something about like present that just is fun.
I know. You know what? You know what I should do? I just had this like really weird lightning strike my brain. My kids are obsessed with pillows and blankets. Like they're obsessed with them. What I should do is make them all a blanket so it's really like special and big and cool, like one that's huge they can wrap up in, and then take them somewhere for their gift. Like, here's your gift from me. It's meaningful and it's fun and you'll use it. But then let's go on a cruise or, because then it's, they have something to open that meant something. Because I'm like, that's what I want. I just don't want to not have any gifts because that feels like a symbol of Christmas. But
I'm with you. I was thinking like, I wanted to get more into like homemade gifts and stuff just because they mean more. But then I hate crafting and I hate cooking and I hate everything to do with that.
On second thought, I hate that idea. I bet you would. I bet there's something out there though that you wouldn't mind, because I'm the same. I'm like, I'm not making them homemade anything. That sounds horrible. And a homemade blanket for whatever reason like hits my heart just right. I'm like, I do want to do that. I really want to do that. So I bet there's something out there you wouldn't hate, like dolls that you painted, or I don't know what, but just something that's like.
I don't know about it, but I think you're right. Well, yeah, I restored a whole bunch of Barbies. They're not listening. So, a whole bunch of Barbies that I got at the thrift store for one of my daughters. No, I got it on Market. Anyway, I restored them because, like, if you follow YouTube videos, it's probably one of the most addicting things you can do. I don't know why, but I'm like, I can see how people are like weirdly into dolls. Not like the weird, like, anyway, but like, restoring them and stuff is so satisfying. I was like, I love this so much. I washed like all of their hair. I combed it. I conditioned it, and I was like, I sat like there's like 20 of them, and I was like,
that's so cute. Anyway. I'm not playing. I'm accessorizing.
Yeah. I was like, if Jesse comes in right now, he's gonna be like, what?
What? Nothing.
What? Anyway, it was probably like the funnest thing I've ever done, and I was like, so that kind of stuff I could see how that would be fun to make, like homemade.
That counts as crafting for them 100%. Like that's something.
Well,
that's awesome.
Like all these dolls came like, I could tell they were like the dolls themselves were quality, but their hair was crazy and their outfits were really ugly. So like I did all their hair, washed them all really good, and then you can buy like prom dresses for Barbies in a package on Amazon. Like they're so pretty. Like all the dresses are like tiny, but they're like beautiful, intricate prom dresses.
Really cool.
I'm doing that, so I'm gonna set them all up so they look like beautiful. They look like brand new.
Oh my gosh, how cool! You're making me want to do that for Scotty because she's really into like girly things now. I haven't introduced her to Barbies yet. And maybe I will start looking at the thrift stores for them.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of weirdly, they're not expensive, but if you want 20 of them, you're going to drop $200,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
and that's what my kids, they wanted, like, 20 Barbies. And I got them on Marketplace for, I think it was like $20 for a huge.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, yeah.
That's amazing. They were a little rough, but you fixed them. I love that.
Yeah.
And then you can customize their clothes, because that's the other thing I hate is I'm like, well, I like the way this Barbie looks, but I hate her outfit, and it comes with it. And so
I have this, I don't know why I said it, I have this thing. Anyway, with like little Barbie like shirts and shoes, and like they drive me crazy. I hate them all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes. Like, you have a daughter behind you, just so you know. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Talk.
Right.
Okay.
big dress, then it's good. Hey, everybody out.
Yeah, yeah.
Out. Hey, do not get those dirty. Like, yeah, famous last words.
Yeah, right.
They're very special.
That's like that's part of the fun of Halloween too. Is
you can go in your room. Just go.
I used to like be like, no, not Halloween. Keep it nice, blah blah. And now I'm like, just play with it. They love it. It's so fun. Yeah.
No, I've been really doing all like my parenting things. I do weird stuff. Like I'm like tell my kids not to do stuff that really doesn't matter. Like they were
Well,
like,
makes sense because
like, I was like, no, we're gonna wait till after the store so you guys aren't cranky. And they're like, okay. And then I was like, wait, why do I care? Just eat your crackers.
yeah, yeah. Do it. Do your thing.
Like, I have this thing in my head, and like because it's in my head. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You're just not thinking it through all the way. And like with the costumes, it does make sense because you're like, if you rip it, I'm gonna have to fix it or buy you a new one. And so it's like trying to stop all the work.
If they rip it, that's on them. They can either wear a ripped costume or something old, and like that's
totally. And it's such a cost benefit analysis. I'm like, all the fun they're gonna have in the next 2 weeks with those is totally worth a few rips. That's so cute.
Yes. I know Brinley came in earlier and she's like, Mom, can I use this to catch ladybugs? She has like a little lisp now because she's missing her teeth.
Oh, that's so cute.
With a lid. I was like,
oh, sure, go for it. Use my bread making bowl. See if I care. That's so cute. I love that.
Ellie, I will not say it again. Go out. Hey, if you guys come in here to hang out again, you're gonna have a little chore, okay? Ellie loves it.
We're like, let's do it at 11 o'clock, they said. It'll be fine, they said.
Yeah, lighting will be so good, they said.
I'm gonna look hot.
I would look so good. It'll be worth it.
I'm hiding in the closet at 4 a.m. next time.
Yep. That will be
oh, man. This is a lot easier for me as far as like, I always go to bed at the butt crack of dawn on Thursday night and then wake up at 3 a.m. on Friday morning. And it has been murdering me a little bit. So I'm like, it is kind of nice to have like some sleep in me. I don't have to like crash after this.
Anyway, I think we've beat the dead Optimus horse, but
yeah, well, I think it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to have extra help and have like the environment I always dreamed of, but just don't seem to be able to attain. You know, so I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be awful and not work like it promises, but I don't know. Elon makes great things, so I'm like I have some hope in that. And here's the downside to it is they could potentially like record everything, kind of like an Alexa with sound. It'll see all our interactions, everything we say and do. Like if there ever did come a time when speech was censored even in our homes, and this has like all the footage of all the things, you know, we named it Joe Biden for one, then maybe we would be executed for that or something. I don't know, but that's the one side I could see being like, okay, don't say that in front of Optimus, you know, which is kind of creepy. But I mean, same with Alexa, same with your phone, everything's spying on you. So when people are like, it'll record everything, I'm like, you carry around a recording device in your pocket. No. My phone listens to me all the time. Ads that I never, ever, ever have looked up in my life pop up right after I talk about it. All the time.
All the time. Well, and like Elon was saying, like this robot will basically get to know you. The more you talk to it, the more he's like, my goal with it is it will anticipate your needs before you think you need them. And people were kind of creeped out by that, but I was like, that is 100% Google. That's what Google does. Like they anticipate your needs before you need them. That is what the robot will do, which is kind of nice. Like they'll be like, what, 2:00? You want your tea and a cup and a napkin?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm like, why is everyone fighting this? You get a servant in your home that is a guilt-free like laborer. It's amazing. I seriously would have, even if you're paying them, I would feel some amount of guilt having some human in my home working harder than I am, even if I'm doing something meaningful. Like let's say I'm sitting down and teaching my kids homeschool. If they're up there laboring with their body, I would just feel guilty. Like I would be like I should be doing that, but I can't. I'm doing this. And it just, if I have a robot doing that, I'm like, all the guilt's gone. Like that's so nice. And I could see how you would be like, I could definitely see how people with really lazy tendencies would use this to ruin their life. Don't let it. Like, just don't be lazy, and it's fine. You know what I mean? I
could see how it could foster a lot of neglect in people who are already neglectful to their kids. That's what makes me. I'm like, oh,
totally. But again, that's their choice, and they're already neglectful. Like I'm like, it's going to highlight your worst tendencies, and I could see that. I'm trying to think what I know. There's things that I will do. I will completely neglect my laundry and just make Optimus do all of it. And that's
Oh,
probably bad because, well, because then if Optimus ever breaks down, I'm like, ah, I gotta do my laundry myself. That would suck. But I'm
yeah.
like, until it is broken down, like, just do my laundry for me. I hate that
Well,
chore.
I do worry about things like, I don't know, um, like your kids wanting to come make cookies with you, or like there's just
You'll
little
have
moments.
more time to do that
I know, but like if Optimus is cooking for you all the time, then you're just like, why would you cook? You know what I mean? And so then it's
because
like,
it's fun now. It's not a chore anymore. You can
I
cook for
guess so.
fun.
I guess so. I don't know. I feel like there's wisdom in doing things that like
Are
laboring with
difficult.
your hands. Yeah,
Yes.
like it's like this
Yes.
Japanese culture thing. I saw this on YouTube, so I don't know anything. This is what this guy on YouTube told me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but he said that there's some kind of saying in Japan where like basically they'll clean their own toilets no matter how much money they make. Not and not I don't know. I don't know anything. That's what he said. And because it keeps them humble, like a humility thing that they constantly are trying to remind themselves of like I am human, I clean my own toilet, like I'm gonna clean this out. Anyway,
Right.
I love that and I think that there is something about staying connected to the what you put out in the like the waste that you
Yes.
create stuff like I'm
Yeah.
like if you just have somebody like take care of that go do it like you're just I don't know it kind of makes you more wasteful I feel like or I don't
Yeah.
know
Totally. Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good way to put it. Connected to the waste, your waste,
yeah
even if it's time or whatever. I think that's
yeah
great. I think being aware of that is really important. I do think, at least in my life, I think you feel this too, though. There's so much to do that it's really a choice between which fire is bigger than the other. It's not
yeah
about like once Optimus comes into my life, I'm just going to kick my feet up and I'm going to
yeah
become so lazy. I'm like, now I can actually go out and dig in my garden because I don't have to sit here and do laundry for 4 hours. Like, there are things that are completely mindless about my job that take up my time that anger me because they're so inefficient and
yeah
annoying. Like, and I would much rather be out building a chicken coop than folding laundry. Much
yeah
rather. And I just feel like I can never get to the things that really fill me up and make me feel connected to the earth or my kids or
uh-huh.
because I'm just constantly cleaning and maintaining our environment. I hate it.
yeah yeah I know
So
what you mean
yeah, I to me it's going to free me up to do even better things. I don't see myself ever sitting down and feeling like, wow, I can just lay here. That doesn't sound
yeah
even kind of fun to me. Like
yeah
I'll just take my kids and we'll go do fun things now. Like now I don't have to sit here at home and make sure that we
yeah
get everything done. We just go out and have fun together.
yeah
I look at it like we're going to become like the British gentry of the 1800s. Like the servants will stay home and garden and clean for us, and we're going to go out on a little stroll. I'm like, that sounds great. I don't know
yeah
why that's a bad thing. We'll have more time to develop our art and to build relationships and to hone skills. As long as you use that time wisely, do it. It's like having a washing machine. Yeah, you can wash them by hand, but now you have even more time to do
yeah
better things. It's true.
true.
I couldn't homeschool without all the machines around me. My dishwasher and my washing machine and my microwave and my stove. I would have to be laboring over all those all day. I couldn't homeschool at the same time. I
yeah
love how much time I have to do good things now.
yeah
So I invite machines into my life to do the things that to me are
well
meaningful. I
yeah
hate them.
there's all kinds of technology like we've talked about a day before, but that people are worried about that I feel like bring a lot of joy in your life. Like we rely on technology a lot in our house. Like my kids are literally doing homeschool through a
Yep.
program, like
Computer.
a homeschool program. Anyway, and
Yep.
they only have math and language arts on there, but still, like it's really good. Like I really
Yes.
like it. Teachers are really
Yes.
engaging. They're learning a lot. They're like ahead for their grade. Like they're just
Yeah.
and I track it and see it and I love it. And then like they're learning piano through my phone. And then they practice dance through YouTube and like they go to dance classes too, but like on the other days they practice on YouTube. And so there's just like, yeah, there's so many things. We use a lot of technology and I used to be kind of like, no screens in this house. And now I'm like, no, like we're using screens. We're just going to do it smart. And so
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think can be said for that technology as well of like, yeah, you could just kick your feet up and be lazy, but you have to be the one in control or yeah, I guess it could
Right.
control you.
Right.
Anyway,
And there will be bad things that happen because people are bad, not because the
yeah,
technology itself is bad. I
yeah,
don't think, yeah, I anticipate, um, cheaper goods because people are going to use robots in their factories instead of humans. Everyone's like, our jobs. But I'm like, now your clothes are going to be even cheaper. Your food's
yeah.
going to be even cheaper. Your cars are going to be even cheaper. Everything is going to become more affordable. And the richer the rich get, the richer the poor gets. Trickle down economics. We benefit from that at the bottom. And everyone's like, oh, the rich ruin us. I'm like, we stayed at a really nice resort, really nice in St. George. It was just like an amazing experience. I was like, I don't stay in places like this. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that me and my income can stay in a place like that and feel like a rich person for a weekend is because truly wealthy people are buying so many of these like vacation homes in St. George. There's so much money there that the competition has driven the prices down of staying in a place like that. And I'm like, that's trickle down economics. I am able to do that because
Yeah,
rich people are living at a higher standard than me. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I wouldn't have this luxury if they didn't have their luxuries. So
yeah,
anyway, I think the cheaper it is to run businesses, the more our economy is going to benefit. And there's going to be a shift in the kind of jobs people can have, and that's going to hurt some people for a
yeah,
minute. And I do feel for them there and the fear there, but I do think ultimately it's going to be really good for our economy. So,
yeah. He predicts it will like cure poverty.
I honestly believe him because if you don't have to pay for laborers, then the
Yeah.
business makes even more money, and then you can use that like so your price of making a piece of clothing just went from $5 to 5 cents. You know
But
what I'm
then
saying? Like,
where do those people go though?
oh, the laborers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what the answer to that.
yeah.
Um,
But I mean, that's
and
okay. So because like my husband works at a ammunition factory, and like um, there have been people that would work the factories in the past, and now they have machines doing it, and like so as time goes on, that's how the world goes, and
yeah.
we'll find jobs. It's just a field. So anyway,
Yeah, I think so. I think that necessity will push them towards college or towards robotics or towards, you know what I mean? Like when you're hungry and your family's hungry, you'll figure it out. It is unfortunate and I don't like to see people unemployed or anything like that, but when people are like, "Oh, the jobs are gone." I'm like, "No." Thomas Sowell says something about this. He's like, "It's not it's a reflection of what's actually going on." Dang it, I can't say it smart enough. I need to look
yeah,
up the actual quote,
yeah.
but he's like, it's not the right mindset. I wish I could remember his words better. I'll have to look it up for next time. Um, Really quick too, before we wrap this up, I was just gonna say that the one job in the world, I could be wrong, maybe there's something else. I couldn't think of anything else. The only job I can think of in the entire world that a robot couldn't replace is a stay-at-home mom. That's why when everyone's like, it's taking the place of a homemaker, I'm like, you can't actually replace a mother's love with anything but a mother's love. So
Yeah.
when mom makes cookies and it means something to you, that doesn't matter if a robot does it because it doesn't mean the same thing. And if mom like folds your laundry and that makes you feel loved, then that's something she has more time for now because the robot's like cleaning the kitchen or whatever. But I'm like, what's they're like, oh, it'll replace homemakers. I'm like, that is the one job in the entire world that's still considered a job, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, by society,
yeah,
even though you're not paid and it's looked down on. That a robot, seriously, you can't replace it because the reason that is such a meaningful job is not because of all the little labors,
yeah.
but because of the love that goes into it. So I'm like, now as a mom, instead of, love means mom folded my laundry, love means I pushed you on the swing at the park. Like, you're never going to be able to be like, robot, go show my child love.
Hmm.
Maybe, and maybe it'll get attached to robots, and that's sad. But I could see that actually. But but in truth and in reality and in human connection, that's the only job on the planet I can think of that a robot ultimately could not replace because it would not have the mother-child connection. So I'm like, that's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Like, the one job that's looked down on so much is the only one that AI can't replace because
Yeah,
it's
interesting,
built
huh?
on love. Yeah, it can do all the little labors, but it can't actually replace the benefit of a loving mother in a home.
Mm.
So kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like it wouldn't be able to replace like I don't know, counselor or something. Trying to think
They
of
say
something
it will. They
like
say it'll be able to replace teachers, everyone. Like,
like it could AI generate the right things to say, but if you need somebody who cares about you to validate what you're going
your
through, I don't.
counselor doesn't care about you.
Ours did. Like I loved my counselor.
I loved her too, but I'm just saying, like, you're paying her to give you sound advice. It could be argued that she doesn't really care about you. She might care about good results, or she might, as a human, maybe she can't help but care.
I
But
don't think
but ultimately, you're not paying her to love you. You're paying her to give you
no,
counsel.
no, it's true. But you are paying for that human connection of like, I need somebody who is a third party, unbiased, who cares about what I'm going through, and she was somebody who was able to do that.
Did you need your counselor to care about what you're going through though, or just sound advice? Yeah, you needed her to care. I'm trying to think if I needed that. Probably more than I realized. Probably I did. Probably needed someone to validate me and be like, that's hard. That's a
She was
hard thing.
one of those rare ones too, where like she would work off the clock. She would
Great.
take calls after she retired and stopped working. Like she was amazing. She definitely.
Yeah. And you're right. Like
Those
knowing
are
that
the
a
those
human
are the kinds of interactions that change your life though. Like she changed me. I will always love her and I'll always remember her. If it was a
same.
robot, I would never be like, that robot changed my life because of their
That's
sound advice. I'm like,
so true.
not the
So
thing.
anything that requires heart, you could even argue a teacher too. Anything
Yeah,
that requires heart and
sure
soul to
argued.
soul connection,
I think
is gold.
a robot could replace a crappy anybody. So if you're a crappy mom, they would be probably better. If you're a crappy
That's a
peer,
good point.
it'd be better. If you're a crappy counselor, it'd probably be better. But if you are like, if you love your craft, you loved the people that you work with, a robot will never be able to replace that. So
It can't replace your heart. Yeah, that's fascinating. Is
it's
that
like
true of like
it's like
a
the
CEO
Tin Man.
of a
Just
company?
part. It kind of looks like the Tin Man too.
It does. We could write a whole novel on this. Is do you think like a CEO of a company who puts their whole heart into it couldn't be replaced by a robot because they actually care about their people, or they actually care about their industry,
I
or they
think
care matters?
leaders can change people's lives because of if they care about their employees and where the company's going and that kind of thing. I think a robot might be more efficient monetarily. Is that the right word? I don't know.
No,
Um,
yeah, you're right.
but I don't know. I don't think it can make lasting change. It never has. And I mean, as far as like humans changing themselves, you know,
Well, and at the end of the day, a good CEO is going to be somebody who does care about their people as well as the company.
yeah,
So yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of jobs that it really couldn't replace if it can't replace human interaction. I'm
yeah.
just thinking about like desk jobs. Like I can't see why robots wouldn't take all of those, like call centers, like
Uh,
anything that's like
I don't
I don't
get
know.
calls today, to be honest.
You don't get them in this day and age.
But yeah, I don't understand what they do.
I don't either. Are they failing? Do they still make money?
I don't
Let's look this
know.
up
Let's
really
look it up.
quick.
I feel
Really
like
fast.
aren't they like ad things? Like they sell stuff, right?
Well, it can be anything. Like a call center could be like for vacuums, or it could be like we'll call for you. Like they'll have entire companies where their sole job is to call out for another company. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they might not have anything they're calling on, but they're like,
Yeah,
we'll call for you.
yeah.
So it's just people willing to get on the phone because no one wants to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, my computer died, so I don't know. They
Okay.
they must be profitable because they keep going, but they're obnoxious. I don't listen to them, and everyone's filtering them out of their cell phones. So I don't know how they make money.
I
Old
don't.
people.
I feel like that's
What
got
if
to
the
be.
old people die? They're gonna die.
Yeah, it's kind of like door-to-door salesman. Like I feel like that's a dying art. It's not happening
Oh
anymore.
man, so bad that yeah. Oh yeah, we had one come to our door just a couple weeks ago
Uh,
for vacuums, Mal.
eh,
Vacuum. I was
vacuum.
like, they still do that? That's like something
Vacuum.
my parents did. Like, what?
I
The
know what
poor
makes
kid was like
like
20.
a boomer.
Yeah.
Why are you here? Um,
You could tell he's being trained. It was sad. I was like, no, I don't want your
there's
vacuum.
there's this sales guy. Ellie, go out. There's this sales guy. outside of a grocery store the other day, and I was like, we were traveling, and I was in a hurry. I was like trying to pick up my pizza, and like I didn't want to be stopped. Like it was like obvious all over my face, like don't talk to me. Anyway, and he was just like,
Yes.
hey, can I ask you a question or something? Anyway, and I was like, oh. No, he didn't say, can I ask you? He was good. He was like very quick, like to where you couldn't say no. Anyway, and then he like tried to flatter me by telling me I looked young, and I was like, dude, I know exactly what
Yeah.
you think. I'm just gonna sign something because you said I looked young. He's like, so how old are you? You what, 25? And I was like, I'm 30. And he's like, you're doing something right. And I was like, mm-hmm. What do you want?
Yep.
Like,
Interesting.
anyway, and like the whole thing, like immediately after he did his fake compliment, I was like, shut up. I was like, everything you
Yep.
say is no.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
whatever you say is no. Anyway, and he actually had a good thing, but I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, just
Nope.
stop. Stop talking to
Yep.
me.
You
Like,
started off
those,
fake.
are those things like useful? Like, do they actually get people to sign stuff who are less younger than 60?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
think I think there's a fair amount of people out there who cannot say no, even to really rude people.
Yeah. I just like I did feel bad because he tries to create this human connection. That's what they do. I watched this sales video one time. He explained how basically the sales process, and I was like, this is a sick, twisted
It
business.
is sick. It
I know
is
that
sick.
I know that's a bold opinion, but I'm like, I think it's a twisted business. They
I
literally
do.
try and get human emotion, get you involved, and make you feel guilty for saying no. That's the literal like platform
Yep.
of sales. I was
Yep.
like, I don't like it.
And
So
then they can sleep at night.
I knew exactly what he was doing because I'd read all about it and watched this training about it, and I was like, yeah, you're bugging me already. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
you do feel like I couldn't help it. I felt bad telling him because he's this young kid. I'm like, he's like in his 20s. He doesn't know, and like, but then at the end, I was just like, I'm not gonna sign anything today. I'm sorry, because he was like, he didn't ask like, can I sign you up? He's like, hey, what's your email and your phone number? And I was like, what am I signing? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, it's like this. It talks really fast. Okay, what is it? And I was like, I'm not gonna sign anything. Like I don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing. It's just stop.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
irritating.
Yeah. They get you caught up in the whirlwind of it, and it's, yeah,
Yes,
I agree with you. It's just a total manipulation.
it
And
is
I
a
think they sleep at night. What's that?
I said it's a complete manipulation. It's annoying.
Totally. It is annoying. And I think they sleep at night feeling like, well, my product is good. Like, I'm just, if I can convince them, I'm going to actually bring value to their
Well,
life. Some of them don't care, but I think some
yeah.
feel that way.
Well,
And I'm
they
like,
it's not like
if you get it by
yeah,
coercion, it doesn't matter if it's good. It's just the
yeah.
wrong way to do it.
Well, their trainings are like they boost each other up. Like you get this green badge because you manipulated
Yes.
people today, and so then they're like boosted up in their company and they're like, man, I'm really cool. I'm alpha male, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it either. I think it's a really weird industry. It's definitely a dying art because
yeah,
your phone will tell you immediately if there's a spam or not, or
yeah.
a, what do you call that?
Anyway,
Sales pitch. So I don't even know how they reach people who are under 65. Anyway,
mhm.
we can be done. I'm done. You're
Yeah.
done. Your kid's
All my
done.
kids are just like everywhere,
Yeah.
and I can't.
Mine have had it too. I've like not been with them since
I
9
don't.
a.m. because I had to get ready and it takes me forever.
Oh, yeah,
And
we
I
can't be
haven't showered for
now.
a whole week.
Now, no. Hey, but next
It's the
week,
only time I look human.
yeah. I almost wore a tan turtleneck today too.
That
With
would have
Ben.
been hilarious. Let's match
Also,
every day and see if you'll notice.
when I come for Thanksgiving, Vanny's gonna give me dark hair and bangs. I'm
Oh,
like embarrassed
yay!
because I'm gonna look like I copied you. I'm like, gosh, dang it.
No, it's fine. I actually was waiting for the day you went dark. You're gonna look really good dark.
I'm
Yeah.
really nervous because it's gonna be in front of all the Holts, and they're like a whole bunch of blunt cowboys who don't like change, and I'm like, I can't do it.
It is gonna shock you and look really bad at first. So don't freak out because when she first dyed mine, even though it immediately looked better on my skin and stuff like that, it was so dark and vibrant that I was like,
Be a
oh
while.
my gosh, like
Yeah,
that is not what I expected. And it's never been that dark or vibrant since. It's just that first like coat is
yeah,
just so it's like red and just
yeah.
oh, it was intense. Like even to the point Corey was like, looks good. Like he's so like he
Yes,
cannot say something doesn't look it on me. Yeah, he's like it looks good. Like it
you
I
look.
think so. Yeah, but after it faded, I was like, I am a fan.
Yeah.
I am never going blonde again. It's just good look on. I went dark like this because I was looking at mom's roots and I was like, I share a lot of her features. I have her eye color. I should have her hair color. Like it looks amazing on her, so I should copy that. And that's what inspired mine. So yeah. It feels more
I
natural.
go through these hippie phases where I'm like, everything should be natural. I should just be supernatural. And then like 6 months later, I'm like, go completely dark or red or blonde or like
Oh, heck yeah. Well, I tried to go natural and I have mouse poop hair. Like it is just not a good color. It really isn't. It's just it looks gray and washed out and dull all the time, even if it's shiny and healthy and like
yeah.
it's just a terrible color. So I was like, I don't care. I'm dyeing it for the rest of my life. Everyone I know who dyes their hair looks a little bit better. So I'm like, yeah, it
Okay.
does.
So
It's pretty.
next week we are going to be doing a complete whatever we want to talk about podcast. So it'll be really unique and everyone
We're not sticking to a theme. And we're gonna talk for 5 hours. It's so different than what you're used to.
you're going to be blown away. You will not want to miss.
Like, how is that any different than every
By
podcast?
the way, I realized in our first episode, like our first episode that we put on our Spotify, our listeners have to be so confused because I like archived all the old ones and I was like, this is our first episode. And they're like, this is like your 50th, but okay. And so, like, I feel like we should explain what we're doing. So I'll
Okay.
explain. Here we are, me and Nat, rebranded, and we're now Mal and Nat. Dang it. Mal and Nat Sister Chat podcast, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so different from Mindset with Mallory because that was more like self-help, self-improvement, that kind of thing. And it was kind of like my own thing. And then I fizzled out. And then it ended up being like me and Addie talking and recording it anyway. So we were like, let's just go into this.
Let's
And it's
pick a
been more fun.
podcast.
It's been more fun for both of us. So we're going with it. And so last week was like our official like rebrand. So if you have been a listener, that's what's going on. So.
Yeah. And that sounds like I'm like an evil sister who took over your podcast. You fizzled out first, and then we came in with this. It
wasn't. I was like,
I didn't come in bulldoze.
do it anymore. Then Nat was like, let's just keep doing it. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. Well, and I think both of us feel pretty passionately about this. Like we can air out all of our crazy opinions on any topic we want. Like I look forward to this every week, and I
I do
don't have
too.
anything in my life that takes this much effort that I feel that way about. Except for when I did the play. That's the only thing I can compare
It's
it
like
to.
the only platform I can be like, I just have to vent about this stupid movie or this stupid actor. Just like let it all out.
Let it all out because everyone needs to know my opinions. I don't know why it matters. Yeah, it's so true. So it's been really fun. I hope we can make this a thing. I make it my goal that by Monday we shall be on social media. I will have us posted.
Okay, I created one short and I didn't post it yet, but I will do something too.
Okay.
That's my.
When you do the magic.
Sorry.
I was looking at the ones that AI created, like the magic clips or whatever.
They're not very
and
good.
They're not very good, and they like picked the meanest stuff we said and made us sound awful. And I was like, we are awful, but we qualified almost everything we said with a little bit softer. Like, here's our actual opinion. You know, this is it. But also, we have a little more open mind. It made us look awful.
That's why I think our shorts should be like more of the humor, just kind of like lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to listen to this. It looks funny. Like that's what it should be like.
Agree.
Because you can't get the whole context. It just makes it sound awful.
It does. I 100% agree with you. And then they can listen to the whole thing and either be offended or not. But I would rather someone listen to those controversial clips with the qualifications that go with it than just on their own. Because I was like, I don't even like myself listening to this, and that's not what I meant when I said it. Yeah. So anyway.
So yeah, next week though, we're just not gonna have a topic. We're just gonna chat. You can just eat your chocolate and just join, and it will be so fun.
Just listen to us talk about nothing. I actually am kind of excited to just let loose, see what comes out.
I know, me too. I'm like, this will be interesting. No prepping.
No agenda. Like we ever have an agenda.
I know,
we were talking about Elon Musk robots today, in case you were unclear on the topic. That was our topic.
We did medium good. We circled it back a lot.
We did. And I think we covered some good ground. That was an interesting little debate. Like, both of us kind of ended up like, now I'm a little scared of robots, and you're like, now I kind of want one. Like, we're both just like...
Put the fear of God into you, and you just made me want to buy a robot. So.
I know. Like, I can see some caution there. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Hey.
Hit the 2 hours.
Over and out. What's that? Yeah, 2 hours. We're getting longer and longer on these. This is not good.
I know. I have a problem.
I know. We'll see everybody next Friday for our 4th and final episode for this month. We did it. We did it every week this month. So
You know what we should do next month? I know I said no topic, but we have not talked about Fahrenheit 451 one time. That's our
we
bucket
did.
list.
We talked. We've like brushed on it, but we should just make our whole topic that.
But we
Yeah.
didn't talk about it because that was the episode that we didn't air because we were too offensive, remember?
Yeah. Whoops.
So
It's hard to talk about Fahrenheit without being super offensive. I did say Joe Biden about 7 times in this podcast. Sorry if you love him. I just don't. But we can still be friends. You don't love Donald Trump if you love Joe Biden, and I could still be friends with you.
if you love
Whoever
Joe
you are.
Biden, you can still like appreciate the funny way he walks. It's like Trump's hair. I'm like, you guys like Trump, but he still has stupid hair.
I don't know. I feel like if you really love like your chosen politician, like really love them, it's hard to laugh at them because I'm like, I don't love Trump. I'm just voting for him. There's a difference.
Yeah.
If it was Ben Carson, I'd be like, how dare you wash
That's-
out your mouth? I
that's
love him. Like you do not get to talk about that man like that. Yeah.
Dare you? Yeah.
So I could see that if you like have respect and love for him, I could see how that'd be offensive. But let's just be friends anyway. You can say mean things about Trump, and we'll trade straight across. Anyway, all right.
Okay, over and out.
Bye.
Bye, Natty.